Welcome to the Crochet Show with me, your host, Nikki. I am so excited to be here. We're going to talk about 5 different ways on how you can crochet a pot holder. Yay! So it's a very fun way to crochet something really thick and really exciting and very unique in some kind of way. So we're going to go through 5 different ways. Now, there are more different ways that you can crochet a pot holder, but I'm going to focus on 5 only, okay? So actually 2 of them I do have a pattern for. The other 3 I'm just going to mention and talk about in detail, all right? Number 1 is a double thick pot holder. So what is a double thick pot holder? I actually have it here. Okay, so this is a double thick pot holder. At least this is a version of it. What does that mean? It simply means it is double the amount that it normally would be, okay? So that means it has 2 layers, okay? So as you can see, it has 2 layers, right? I actually haven't sewn it together yet, so you can see it. It's 2 layers, right? So now there are some questions on how to make sure it is really heat protective. So here are a couple tips about any pot holder per se, okay? The first thing is use 100% cotton, okay? This is 100% cotton right here. It is a Dishy yarn. I have a link in the description, so if you want to grab that, it's very affordable. It's the most affordable cotton yarn that is super, super soft, okay? They have 3 different versions. They have the multi version, the twist version, and a solid version. This is the multi, okay? So a couple things here. First of all, again, 100% cotton you got to use. And second, you can add a layer of heat protectant in the middle of it, okay, before sewing it together. They sell them at Joann, so you can go there and simply pick one up. Some people use that for sewing mittens or something like that, or even pot holders, you know, and they put a layer of heat protectant in between. So you can do easily that, no problem. If you feel like this is still too thin for you, add something in between. Okay, so this is number 1. I use linked crochet for that to reduce the amount of holes. So yes, there's even less holes in there than a normal double crochet or anything. You can see if I stretch it, there's no holes. Okay, so use a stitch that is very tight and has absolutely no gaps, and linked crochet is ideal for that. Okay, so that is number 1. This is a free crochet pattern, and I just published it on my website, so go check it out. It's called the Double Thick Diagonal Pot Holder. So let's hop right into number 2. Number 2 is a thermal stitch pot holder, okay? A thermal stitch pot holder uses the thermal stitch, okay? So it is already double thick. That means you are doing 2 rows, or let's say 2 layers at the same time, because you're going in a zigzag, okay? So when you go in a zigzag, you're kind of doing a half a row and then another half a row and another half a row, another half a row. And because you're doing it on either side of it, you're connecting 2 layers automatically together and therefore creating a double thick layer that is already pretty much sewn together, okay? So that's the thermal stitch. You can make that in any shape you like, as big as you like. The same is true for this. You can make it any size you wish, okay? Here's the thing though, for the thermal stitch, because you're doing 2 layers at the same time immediately while crocheting, you cannot add another layer, like a heat protectant layer or some kind of stuffing or something in between. You can't do that. So keep that in mind, that for this guy you can, for the thermal stitch you can't. So I would suggest using a thicker yarn, thicker 100% cotton yarn when it comes to the thermal stitch, so to make sure that the layer is even thicker than normal. And yes, you could be making 2 and sew them together as well if you wish to do so. But typically it already is good. If you use like at least a 4 or 5 in yarn, you can easily do that, no problem. So we're gonna hop right into the next one, which is a heart pot holder. All there is to say about this, it is a heart. And why is a heart? Because you can easily squeeze it together, right? You can enter your thumb on one side of the heart and your other fingers on the other side of the heart if they have little pouches, right? So you can kind of enter your, like, add your fingers and into it so you can really hold it and it doesn't go anywhere. ideally, if you want a pouch in on both of the hard bubbles, right, that would be great. You don't have to technically. Just make sure it's really thick, right? Use 100% cotton, has maybe an ideal heat layer in between. But it's cool because a heart, looks normally like a heart, but you can squeeze it together. So therefore, you protect your fingers and it doesn't go anywhere and it slips around. So a heart is really cute, a cute way to make a pot holder, right? And you can add some nice, edging around if you, like some lace edging if you wish. Totally fine, right? So we're gonna hop right into the next one. Okay, the next one is a circular pot holder. Now that's very self-explanatory. It is a circle. Again, I would suggest using 2 layers, okay, for anything heat or pot holder. Not only use 100% cotton, but also use 2 layers. So if it comes 2 layers, like the thermal stitch does, right, then you're good, okay? Now for this type, right, I would always suggest adding something in between to really make sure you protect it. It can work without it. Not sure about like 500 Fahrenheit degrees, I'm not sure about that one. But if you add something in between, it should protect you. It can still burn the cotton, of course. You just keep that in mind, right? You probably have to rotate and do quite a bit of them. I think we all know that pot holders don't last forever. As long as they protect you for a certain period of time, we're good to go, right? So a circular one, I would make 2 circular circles. I will put something in between and then sew it together and you're good and you have a pot holder. Yay! How awesome is that? The last one is a mitten potholder. Now that's, again, it's very self-explanatory. It is a mitten shape, right? And you can literally put your hand in it, okay? So it's also potholder. You can call just mitts if you like. I just called it mitten potholder to explain it, and we'll keep it in the theme of a potholder, right? You know what I'm talking about. You can make them look like a mitten. It doesn't have to be with your hand in it. It can be just the shape of a mitten, and you don't have to add your hand in it, and you just hold it like that, right? So it totally is up to you. There are, of course, more shapes and forms of pot holders that you can create. Ideally, I'm going to repeat myself because it's so important. Use 100% cotton. If you can, use a heat protective layer somewhere in between if it's possible. Again, for the thermal stitch, that is not possible. Okay. But, and just sew them together in a way that it protects you. You can add a little hook to it. I didn't add a little hook or loop on this one because I keep some of my pot holders, just like my mom does, in a drawer. So it doesn't really need like another loop on it, so hang it somewhere. But you can add a loop, of course, if that's totally up to you, right? All right, if you guys try one of these, please post it into my groups called Crocheting with Nikki. I would love to see yours. I always love seeing you guys' creations using my patterns, and I would love to cheer you on and celebrate you if you do. Yay! Of course, I want to see anything else as well. You can post any of your creations in there. It doesn't have to just be my patterns that you use, of course, right? And of course, the Crochet Club is there for you if you need any further assistance, or simply be part of an awesome crochet community. There's over 300 members in that crochet community. And we're having a blast, and you literally can request whatever you like, and I go through it and teach it. And once a month, we even see each other on camera. So tomorrow, for example, on Thursday, last Thursday of every month, we have something called Crochet Chat. So we're all on camera and we'll all talk to each other, and I simply answer questions and we have fun and crochet together. So yay! If you want to be part of an awesome community, come join us in the Crochet Club. And I hope to see you guys next time. We're going to talk about something awesome next week as well for the next crochet show. I hope to see you there. Until then, I'll see ya. Bye!